Hoof care is not always rainbows and unicorns. We get it. It can be daunting when your horse kicks out or jerks back their foot. In fact, when we first got Fiesta, she had to be sedated to have her feet done. Now, she actually nickers at us when it's hoof time. With these top 10 tips, you can help your horse fall in love with hoof care too. Number 1, let go of your horse's foot the instant they ask for it. I know this may sound counterintuitive, but my students have found that 90% of their hoof handling challenges disappear when they commit to this one practice. Our farriers and professionals often teach us to hold onto our horse's foot until they relax, and only then can you let it go. And I understand why they want to do this. It's negative reinforcement, the exact same thing you do with your legs cues and your reins, but however, with horse hooves, it just seems to backfire. Fortunately, it's so simple to change. The moment your horse so much as twitches to get their foot back, pop your hands open like a hot potato. Tip number 2, teach your horse the mechanics of standing on 3 legs. Barring any serious lameness, horses don't usually stand on 3 feet, but we can help them understand how they need to distribute their weight to do this comfortably. Watch while I follow Alia as she changes her weight, and then just accept her hoof when she's able to offer it to me.
Beautiful, good job. Very nice. That was lovely. Well done, sweetheart. That was a good example.
Tip number 3, start wherever your horse is at today. Your horse may not even be comfortable with you touching their feet yet. Alia was very comfortable with us touching her tail, so we got on the other side of a rope where she could feel more comfortable and slowly helped her get used to us touching down her legs. Tip number 4, catch your horse doing the right thing as often as possible. Here's a breakdown of the task that can help even the most scared horse really gain confidence. Step number 1 is touching your horse's foot while you're facing forward. For a lot of horses, this can make a really big difference before you face backwards into the typical hoof position. Also, you want to rhythmically move your hand from the up to their withers down to their foot, never really lingering in one place. Step number 2 is doing the same thing facing backwards in that typical hoof cleaning position. Once they're comfy with this, you can lean your shoulder lightly into them until they're able to shift their weight. Next, you reward them when they start popping that foot up. And finally, you reward them when they actually lift their hoof. Remember to let it go if they need it back. You may even wish to go through all those steps again with the tool in your hand. Tip number 5, discover your horse's preferences. I just discovered this one the other day. As you see here, I usually cradle the horse's foot right around the coronet band, but it turns out the Fiesta prefers if I touch her hoof, not touching the skin. Good to know. Tip number 6, treats can be helpful. Again, the key is to chunk it down into small baby steps so your horse can feel like a winner. There is one caveat, however. I make sure to reward them for their feedback, not for doing the task. For example, watch this next clip with Fiesta. Note that she starts to lean into the supporting leg, realize it hurts, and then doesn't. In fact, she even offers me the other foot. This is actually how we realized she had some lameness brewing. So she couldn't give me her foot, but I still gave her a cookie for the feedback. Therefore, I'm never at risk of bribing my horses. The treats just make hoof time more fun. Tip number 7, be willing to take a step or 2 backwards. For example, the turn before this next clip, I had really pushed Alia out of her comfort zone. It was one of the first times we had used a hoof pick. So on this next time, I put the tool away and even go back to facing forward to help her rebuild her confidence.
Oh, I know it's a lot, isn't it, sweetheart? The hands, just hands. Again. Oh, so nice. That was lovely.
Tip number 8, listen to your gut. When we first got Fiesta, she was 22 years old and still needed to be sedated by a veterinarian in order to have her hooves done. Unfortunately, I also managed to blast through her fear thresholds. I was actually all the way back by that hoof with the blue circle when we probably only should have been up where the heart was on her withers. Until I started listening to my gut. I started feeling for any anxiety either from her or me, and it made me realize I needed to slow everything down. And then we built a true field of trust. Tip number 9, your mindset matters. There's two parts to this. First of all, you need to stay in the present moment. It can be very easy to feel a little daunted and focus on things that went bad, but you want to go back to the present moment and focus on what you're doing at that instant. Secondly, it's vital that during all these steps you are picturing in your minds what you want the horse to do. For example, on the hoof touching stage, I am just picturing them feeling calm and comfortable with the contact. And finally, tip number 10, there's no need to pinch. Horses can feel the tiny little feet of a fly as it lands on their butt, so there's really no need for us to pinch their chestnuts or grab the hairs on the back of their legs. If you just lay your hand lightly on their leg, imagine what you would like them to do in your mind, they'll be more than happy to hand you that hoof.
Thank you so much.
We hope this helps your horse fall madly in love with hoof time too. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and drop by bridlesandbreath.com to get our newsletter.